Hello, everyone. Welcome to Specialty Media here up on YouTube. Please follow along, like the channel, comment as well. My name is Jim Biringer. You can catch me on the Nightcap Recap as well as Around Campus College Football Podcast. I'm joined by Ryan Paton, North South, and In Conversation. You also can catch him on SiriusXM. He does something with knuckleheads, I think, called the Hot Stove. Ryan,
the only thing I do is I just keep him in line, man. That's all I do.
Ryan, what's up, buddy? Been too long. Good to see you again. We saw each other down at the Stadium Series down in Tampa. That was a great time. Great conversation. I think we have something to talk about, right?
Yeah, nice outfit, JB. Nice outfit. No, yeah, when you came on before you hit that button, I'm like, yeah, you look good. Last time I saw you was down at Raymond James. I remember before the game, you looked at me and you're like, hey, let's go down to the stands and let's do a little video. I'm like, okay. So then we went down. It was minus 100. It was freezing. It wasn't that cold, but so we went down, and then they were testing the mics. They were every time you and I tried to do something, no, couldn't do it. So anyway, now we can. Now it's nice and quiet. So it's good to see you.
I mean, it's snowing outside. It's a blizzard outside in New Jersey.
Yeah, same here, man.
It stinks, man. I'm done with this weather. But we got to talk about something because yesterday when the blizzard started, we had a gold medal game to talk about. Yeah. Regardless of time, whatever, you all were up for it. Don't lie. You all were up for it. You all watched it. Team USA wins gold first time since 1980, 46-year drought. Jack Hughes a game-winning goal, but Connor Hellebuyck to me is the story of this game. Without his performance in a gold medal game, Team USA is not winning this game, and I think Canada it's a blowout. I really do think it's a blowout game.
Yeah, I do too, and Canada didn't lose to the U.S. team. The Canada lost to Connor Hellebuyck, and that's with all due respect to everybody else on that club for the U.S. Because you're right, if it was not for Connor Hellebuyck, there's no chance that the U.S. Would have even been close to that game. There's no way it would have gone to overtime. And you mentioned Jack Hughes with the game winner. So many things in that game, JB. I mean, Canada had so many chances. And sometimes you follow hockey a long time, so do I. At the end of each game or the next day, you kind of decompress and look at a game. It doesn't matter if it's a gold medal game or, say, game 53 in the NHL season. You kind of read up some different write-ups and they say, oh, so-and-so had so many chances. Yeah, but a lot of them were not grade A. A lot of these ones were grade A chances for Canada. I mean, Devon Toews, Macklin Celebrini, Connor McDavid, Nate McKinnon. Like those are goals. Like the McKinnon one, we can dissect it all you want, but these were such great opportunities. And the Devon Toews one, the fact that Hellebuyck reached back and made that paddle save, 9 times out of 10, Jim, that goes in. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10 it does, but it stayed out. So. Yeah, it was Drew Doughty said one of the quotes after. He said, I've been part of many great teams and many great games. He said the last 40 minutes were probably the best that I've ever been a part of, and I just don't get how we didn't end up winning the game. So, anyway,
and he's right. He's right.
Right.
I think from the Canadian perspective, I'm watching this game, and it's 1-0, and Canada's just wave after wave after wave just coming. Constant pressure. Then they had the 5-on-3. Hellebuyck was great, and the U.S. penalty kill. They didn't score. I'm like, oh, this is at least 2 goals. I'm like, they're down 2-1 going to intermission. I'm like, this is it. He's brilliant there. They've missed some opportunities, some fan shots. McCarr ties it, and I'm like, this goal was coming. Like you and I both say, you knew it was coming because the pressure. They were constantly in Team USA's zone, constant with the zone entries. I gotta ask you this though: do you think on the McDavid? I know what he was trying to do was trying to stuff it home there. Do you think he just maybe that's a play where, on NHL ice, you have a little bit more room and you have a little bit more time with the hands, with the stick handling.
Is this on the breakaway?
On the breakaway.
Yeah.
Because that he came up to Hellebuyck pretty quick.
He was in too tight. He was in too tight.
Yeah. He was in too tight.
And as good as McDavid's hands are, the best in the game, he was in way too tight. And I watched it over and over and over again. And sometimes, you know what it is too, and this is no fault of McDavid because he's the fastest player in the world. But I mean, I still want to see him and McKinnon go 1-on-1 around the lap a few times. Give me an extra event at the Olympics, short track speed skating, McDavid and McKinnon. Let's see what happens. But sometimes you go so quickly, right? And McDavid is moving, and then all of a sudden who knows what these guys think as well on the breakaway? Are they thinking, okay, here's what I'm going to do? But when he's trying to get that extra step, and then he realizes he has it, He's in too tight. And Hellebuck, as you know, JB, he's a huge goalie. He's a massive goaltender. So when you get him deep in the net, you're not going to have a lot of room in order to find that behind Connor Hellebuck. So yeah, I think he was in a little bit too deep. But again, if he decided that the last split second or something, okay, maybe I'm going to try to shoot it up, or if I'm going to go to the right rather than quick moves, left, right, then maybe would be talking about Canada with the win. But yeah, he was definitely too tight on that play.
Well, I looked at it from coming out of the first period from a U.S. perspective. Even though they were up 1-0, I thought they should have been up 2-0. I said to myself, they should be up 2-0. They should be up because the Team USA was overpassing, especially on the power play. Austin Matthews had a golden opportunity to shoot the puck over Bennington's right shoulder and didn't do it. And I'm like, and I understood, like I saw the still photo and I saw him had Tkachuk backdoor. So I was like, I get where he's trying to make that play because it's just a tap in. If he hits Tkachuk's stick, it's in the net.
Yeah.
But they overpassed. And I'm like, this is going to come back. But then at the end of the third period, heading overtime, I wrote down a couple things to myself and I said, okay, Hellebuck save on Taves. Then Nate McKinnon miss net. The missed nets by Celebrini, the breakaway stops. Connor Hellebuck's kept everything, has done everything for Team USA to win. Now it's just one goal. Now it's just one shot.
Yeah. And that's what happens when you get to overtime. It's just one shot. And the crazy thing about the game is, you know this, that anything can happen in overtime. Anything can happen in a 3-on-3 situation. And that's what happened. You go to that overtime goal and you see how, again, Makar pinched at the U.S. blue line. Maybe he shouldn't have. It doesn't make, you can't go back now and change it. If he held back, then it would have been maybe a 2-on-2, not a 3-on-1. And then at the end of it, you had McKinnon going back. He's not a defenseman, but again, in that 3-on-3 situation, it's kind of like how much defense do you really need to play, right? You just have to stay with your man. And then Makar got booted for the fact he's not skating his you-know-what off to try to get back to cover Hughes. There's so many things that happen in that play, and you can outshoot. And I wanted to, I screenshotted this because I wanted to make sure that the only notes I have from this are this, and here you go. The shots were 42-28 for Canada, okay? The slot shots, I'm not saying that 10 times fast. The shots in the slot, 23-11 favoring Canada. Rush chances, 12-3 favoring Canada. Expected goals, 5.8 for Canada, 2.7 for the U.S. Goals at the end of the game, 1 for Canada, 2 for the U.S. It comes down to one play, and it came down to one play yesterday.
Yeah, and again, right there.
Those are crazy stats, man. Those are crazy. If I were to tell you, hey, based on those numbers, who do you think would have won the game? You would say, obviously, Canada would have won the game.
Yeah, obviously, Canada would have. But Connor Hellebuck, again, 1 goal against Canada, 1 goal against Sweden. Yeah, he gave him 2 goals to Slovakia in junk time. I say it's 5-0.
It's fine.
Yeah, it was like it was 2 goals in junk time. Like, let's be honest, it was junk time yardage for all those guys. So it didn't really matter. In the big moments, 9.76 save percentage in a gold medal game, stopping 41 of 42 shots. Yeah. That's big time. He silenced a lot of his critics. Jack Hughes silenced a lot of his critics. And for me, with Hellebuck, I think this was building because I was doing a little research before we talked this morning on Hellebuck. Yeah. He played at the World Championships for Team USA in 2015, where they made a deep run, and he had a 1.3 goals against average and a 9.32 save percentage. Like in big moments, he steps up. Yeah. I think he overcompensates for the Winnipeg Jets' lack of defense in front of him sometimes. Sure. And the Jets' defense actually leaves him out to dry a lot because it's like, well, he's the best goaltender in the world. He's going to stop everything. Right. Yeah, but this was building because he was the best goalie at the Four Nations by far, and he was not the reason Team USA lost last year. And I point to one period why, and I think this is where it changed for me. Game 7 against St. Louis, his team is down. He made 10 bell saves against the Blues before the Perfetti goal, changed his style. Yeah. If any one of those pucks go in, it's a different game. He made the saves, and I think that's a launching point for him.
We were talking, and I'm sure we did too, and whether it was you and I or anybody else during that game and during the whole playoff run by the Jets and how Hellebuck was playing way too back in his net. I mentioned that he played back in the net with McDavid. Well, that's what you do if you're a goalie. You come out and then you skate back as the guy's coming in. You just want to match and move for move. But I remember thinking you're such a big goalie, so why aren't you out more? Because when you're bigger and you're out more, you have less of an angle. But he kept playing back. And all these people are saying he can't win the big game when it comes for Winnipeg. And yeah, you know what? the Winnipeg Jets should have been a lot further ahead in the last few seasons than they did in getting out of the playoffs pretty early. But you're right, with what Hellebuyck has done on an international level and on the international stage, I think I saw this correctly on the way to, I forget one game that the U.S. was playing in the qualifying portion of the tournament. On one game, and I think Kachuk may have said this or Hughes said it yesterday or something, they looked back and Hellebuyck was dead asleep on the bus. He was completely passed out, sleeping. And at that point, whoever it was, I forget who said it, but they thought to themselves, we're going to be fine. Like, we're absolutely going to be fine. This guy just doesn't care. Maybe it was around, I don't know, in the medal round. But what he does at the international level, you're right, it cannot be taken away. And what he did yesterday, he stole the show. And I want to go back to what you said, too, about the Jets defense being porous in front of him. You give me a really good team, and you will give me a really good goaltender. All the great goaltenders in the game today, with all due respect to them, the Vasilevskis of the world, the Jake Ottingers of the world, I can go on and on and on. They've got great teams in front of them. That's not taking anything from way about how good of a goalie that they are, but you put them on other teams. You put them in Vancouver. You put them in St. Louis, Jordan Bennington. You put them in different teams that aren't good in front of them. You're not going to be as good. It's just how it goes. So now you put yourself behind a really strong, gritty, determined U.S. team. Defensively, they've been good, and they were good the whole tournament. Yeah, he's going to shine through. But I will say this. As good as he was yesterday, there was also some luck involved, Jim. There was.
Oh, I know, 100%. Like I said,
yeah.
You don't like games like that when breaks go your way. Nathan McKinnon does not miss an open net.
No.
Devon Taves does not, like, he puts that in.
Yeah.
Macklin Celebrini doesn't miss 3 shots from the slot.
No, he gets at least one. He gets at least one.
Yeah. Connor McDavid doesn't miss on a breakaway. Like, Canada scores usually on a 5-on-3. Like, things go, those breaks, when those things go your way, that's when you know you're in for it for a game.
Can I ask you something? I'm throw this at you. So many people that I've seen since the game yesterday and even this morning on social, I don't go on it a lot, but sometimes I do. So many are saying the U.S. was the better team. So many are saying that the U.S. deserved that game. They played better. And they're knocking Canada because they're saying if you were the better team, then you would capitalize on the 5-on-3. McKinnon would have scored. Taves would have scored. Celebrini would have scored. I think it's absolute BS. I think it's garbage for somebody to take that angle because to a man, even on the U.S., they said, we probably didn't deserve to win that game. So stop this narrative of you weren't good enough and you weren't better because you didn't finish. It doesn't mean that you weren't the better team because Canada, to me, by far, Jim, was the better team.
As for me, somebody who watches and covers the game and watches hockey constantly, Team USA was not the better team.
Yeah,
they got the breaks. They got the breaks. Like, how many times have we seen in the Stanley Cup playoffs? Goalie wins the game, right? Connor Hellebuyck stole a game. He stole the one game he needed to steal, right?
He did. It was the biggest game. It was the biggest game.
Go back to '98 when we first started bringing Olympians to
Nagano.
To Nagano.
Yeah.
Was the Czech team better than Canada? No, they won a shootout.
Yep.
Dominic Hasek stood on his head.
Yep.
Like, look, this is international hockey. It's one-off, right?
Yep.
Jordan Bennington played a really good game.
He did. He made some big
really
saves.
Good game.
Yep.
Right. And I don't want to hear about, if Logan Thompson's in, he's going to stop the Matt Boldy goal. That's the first shot of the game for Team USA. I don't think any goalie's stopping that. I'm going to be honest. That's a tough goal.
That was a heck of a play by Boldy. The biggest part of that to me wasn't just the finish. The finish was great, but the fact that he thought, okay, I'm a 1-on-2. I think it was Taves and Makar, right?
Yeah, he blew by both of them. Well, not blew by both of them, but he skated by both of them.
But for him to have the presence of mind to flip the puck, I'm going to try to do this. I'm not going to try to keep it on the ice and go left or go dump it in. Let me flip it between the two of them, and let's see if I can follow the bouncing puck. And if I can follow it better than those two can, guess what? I'm in on goal and a break. Great fit. But I thought for him to do that, you're going to love this. That was a bold move by Matt Boldy. There you go. That was for you.
There you go.
I waited all day till this. Yeah,
consider I went like this when we were at the Stadium Series.
I know you did. I know. Yeah.
So I'll give you your flowers on that one. But
Thank
look,
you.
I think it was a good game for both teams. I thought
Sure.
high level hockey. I think the way Canada dominated play from periods 2 on, Even after the Boldy goal, I thought they dominated the game. But we've
Agreed.
seen teams that have dominated games in regular season, teams that have dominated games in playoffs and not won games. Like you said it perfectly. How many top I remember Tampa Bay with Andre Vasilevsky. The years they were struggling because they didn't have good defense in front of them. They relied on Vasilevsky, but Vasilevsky's numbers went down because they were just relying on Vasilevsky. You just can't rely on your goaltender to win games. No. Yes, Connor Hellebuck does it. It can happen, but you can't do it all the time. And he did it. Team USA I'm not gonna say got lucky. They got to overtime where anything can happen, and it's one shot. They played a heck of a tournament. They put the team together to play against Canada, but let's be honest, it was one shot.
And let me say this: I tip my cap to the U.S. I do, because they played a very, very good tournament. They were built differently, but you're right. You hit the nail on the head. They were built to play against Canada. And look, we got what we wanted. Everybody got what we wanted, not just on the women's side of things, but we got it on the men's side of things. We got to see Canada and the U.S. play for gold. And it's unfortunate for me. This is a team game. I wanted to bring this up with you. I'm sure you're going to bring it up with me. A team game should not be decided one-on-one, and it wasn't. A team game should not be. I'm not a fan of the shootout in the NHL.
I hate
the
shootout. I hate the shootout.
I hate the shootout in soccer. A team game, you play 120 whatever it is minutes of running your you-know-what off, and then you're decided one-on-one. I think it's ridiculous. I do look at what happened, and it doesn't matter that Canada lost. Even if Canada won, I would have thought the same thing. Anyone would have won, I would have thought the same thing. I don't agree with the 3-on-3, Jim. I don't agree with it to decide not only the gold, but bronze, whatever. I don't agree with that. If you want to do 4-on-4, fine. 3-on-3, I don't get it. 5-on-5, that's what you do in the playoffs. It's what you do in the NHL. And John Cooper, because he's upset. He wouldn't have said this if they won. I don't know, man. I just don't like how that was decided in that fashion. Where do you stand on that?
Well, I say, go look at the rule book in 2019, because that's when the IIHF changed the rules. Yeah. Like the I was doing research on this. I wrote an article about it.
Yep.
I said the IIHF, and I've been bringing this up for everybody. And I'm not saying, Ryan, you're complaining about it, but there's people out there that don't know the rules that are like, oh, it's the IOC, it's the IOC. It's not the IOC. This is a IIHF tournament governed by the IOC. It's IIHF rules. In 2019, they eliminated the shootout and said we're going to 20-minute 3-on-3 overtime. Yeah. So, I mean, we can complain all we want. I think, me personally, the World Cup of Hockey will be NHL rules. That's just my opinion, because it's going to be an NHLPA tournament, and they'll have the Stanley Cup playoff rules. Do I agree? I would like to see 5-on-5 overtime in a gold medal game? Yes. I definitely am.
Especially with the two nations we saw yesterday. I would have loved to see them continue 5-on-5.
I think Canada wins the game 5-on-5. I'm going to be honest. Right. I think look, 3-on-3 favored Canada, but Team USA, the way their program has come along in the years with all the World Junior Golds, the women's golds, the U18s on all levels, the World Championships, everybody forgets. Let's not forget 2025, Tage Thompson, 3-on-3 overtime winner, ended a 92-year drought at the World Championships. Now we have Jack Hughes with that moment. This was coming for Team USA, but I understand everybody's perspective on it. I just don't like the quotes. Again, people in the media are going to pick and choose what they want to post and all this stuff.
Sure.
But it did sound sore loserish from John Cooper, because you just lost, and I get it. It's right after it.
Right.
But still, for me, I get it, 5-on-5. But then if we want to change that and we want to go to that, then we need to bring the IIHF rule in of having the bronze and gold medal game on the same day and not putting it on the day of the closing ceremonies.
You know what? 100%. Because I know that part of that quote was John was talking about time and getting things done and
for TV and all that stuff.
And the closing ceremonies, the game ended just before 11 Eastern, right? So the closing ceremonies were 3 hours after that. So what if this thing went 5-on-5, and what if it, I don't know, went another 2 hours, something like that? I mean, it would have been great. But Jared Bednar said too, and I want to get back to what you're saying about the sore loser kind of thing. Jared Bednar said that he didn't agree with the whole 3-on-3, and he would have loved to see it go 5-on-5. And I was thinking, okay, are you just saying that because Nate McKinnon and Cale Makar?
Yeah.
But Brock Nelson, He's on the he didn't lose, so same kind of thing. So it's just kind of one of those things I'm thinking, well, you have these coaches who, again, yeah, John, you lost the game. And then I saw someone saying, oh, well, if he didn't say anything about the Four Nations, he wasn't upset about that, that he had all this, that's fine. But when you have that quality of hockey, and another thing got me too yesterday when I reread the rules just before I went to OT because I know what it is. I want to just refresh. I know it's not a shootout, but do we do 15? Do we do 10 minutes? So you do 20, then you have a 15 break, and then you just keep going another 20. And I thought there's no way that this game's going 20 minutes of overtime. There's no, even the fact that it didn't go 5, I was like, yeah, you would have bet the under if you were betting it would have gone at least 5. There's no chance you put the best in the game on the ice 3-on-3 with all that open space. There's no chance. I just really would have loved to see it decided 5-on-5.
Yeah. And everybody has the right to their opinion on that. Like I have we can have a civil conversation about it, but there's a lot of people that I've seen that are like, oh, it's horrendous. This isn't how you determine. It's like, well, you know what? Then this is me being a hockey snob. Then go watch international hockey all year round because it's at the World Juniors, it's the World Championships, the Women's Worlds, the Women's U18s, like all this stuff. It's there. The rules been in place since 2019. So I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah. Will we like to see 5-on-5? Yeah. But then I also say then put the game in prime time on the East Coast on a Saturday night when that way we can go all night then. Fine.
Right.
Then play 5. I believe the Four Nations was 5-on-5, but it was NHL
It was.
rules.
You know what? When you were just saying that, when I was saying that, I was thinking, no, and I'm picturing the final goal, right? No, it was 5-on-5. That's right.
Well, because it was also NHL rules too.
That's
it was
correct.
Different.
That's correct. Yeah.
But look, I get where everybody's coming from, but again, you got to tip your cap because Team USA, let's be honest, is on par with Canada with talent now. Like we have to say that.
Yeah, I think that's I don't have an argument against that to say that. I know that when Canada was about to play Czechia and Pasternak said we're probably going up against the best team ever assembled in the history of the game. And yeah, this Canadian team was pretty damn good, right?
Yeah.
Assembly. But the U.S. team, and I think this is what we also have to make a little bit of a differentiation, but understand and respect that these two nations, they have a ton of the talent pool in the U.S., the talent pool in Canada. It's never going to be dry. It's never going to be dry. That's just the way it is. It's growing. And the U.S. specifically has been growing by leaps and bounds for so many years now. But the U.S. plays differently. Canada plays differently. And so I don't think it's fair for some people to say, well, the U.S. on paper maybe wasn't as good as Canada on paper. Maybe not, but it's... You don't think so? You don't think they were?
I think they were on par. To be honest,
they were on par.
They were on par. I don't think Canada was better on paper. I think the Team USA was on par with Canada. Just because, again, and this is my perspective watching it too. I think this group that's been assembled through this U.S. national team development program, like the guys, obviously the great touch with Johnny Gaudreau's jersey and the kids were out there. That was unbelievable.
Tip my cap. Yeah.
But these guys, since 2010, put the work in. The 2013 team that won the World Juniors,
sure.
There's guys.
I get it.
They were there. To me, they've been on par with Canada. And at the World Juniors, let's be honest, Team USA has beaten Canada a handful of times in the final. Now, so I think these groups of players, I think, are on par with each other because I think the United States had two of the three best defensemen in the game on the back end when Quinn Hughes and Zach Werenski. Obviously, Cale Makar is the number one defenseman in the NHL, right? We can all agree that, but the U.S. had the better goaltending, but Jordan Binnington matched Connor Hellebuck. And I think the forward group, I think the top end forward group might be a little bit better, but team-wise, I think they played with a little bit more structure. And I think this is where I have to, and DB will like this if he hears this, if Dennis Bernstein hears this. I think John Cooper pulled a Jim Hiller a little bit and didn't play enough of the guys that he should have played, especially his bottom six. I think he relied too top heavy, and I don't understand. And I don't understand why a guy like Sam Reinhart didn't get more time in the top six.
That's interesting. Two things. Number one, I can see if I was a coach like Cooper, I would probably lean on my top, and it's just kind of a natural thing to do. But yeah, but you have to understand too, like the bottom six is it's pretty deep. Bottom six in Canada, bottom six of the U.S. will be a top two lines a lot with different teams. I was thinking about something too as you were mentioning about Cooper. I just slipped my mind. I was gonna. Oh, it was a good point. It'll come back to me. It'll come back.
It'll come back.
It'll
But
come
I
back.
just say,
Oh, that's it. Sorry. Yeah.
okay.
I said, I tip my cap to the Gaudreaus and the U.S. and tip my cap to Sidney Crosby. Not that anyone needs to tip their cap anymore to this human being, because you and I will agree with this, and everybody would too. Crosby at, say, 60, 70% is better than a lot of the league at 100%. But he thought to himself, okay, there's two things. Number one, yeah, I can go for gold, but I don't feel like myself. That could be a detriment to the team. I'm going to pull myself off and let somebody else in. I'm telling you, man, the more that this guy does and the more that just the things that he does on and off the ice, just they're awe-inspiring to so many people. It sucked for him. He didn't want to not play, but for him to say, I'm going to put myself aside, I could probably go. And he said to after, he said, I was really close, but nah. I just think, man, he puts his team over himself, and we need more of that.
Me too. I think so too. But I was very surprised he didn't play. I'll be honest. I thought he was going.
I wasn't. And the reason is this. Because you know that now the risk going overseas for not overseas, just wherever the Olympics are, for these NHL guys, you come back and you have a push. You have a massive push. I guarantee when he went down injury, they had all these shots around the rink, and one of them was Kyle Dubas, and he was up there and he was looking. You thought, what is going through his mind? So I guarantee you that in the back of his mind, he's thinking, okay, yes, number one, I want to go for Canada, but I can't. But I've also got to go for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I have my job. My job is still now with this push. Now, will the Penguins get in? I don't know. It's not like they're 10 points out. They're in the thick of things. So I think that also played a part. I really do, in that he's thinking down the road. I've got whatever it is, month and a half, 2 months left to go here. Because what if something happened, JB? What if, God forbid, he got hit again and then he was done? Like, that would be terrible.
Yeah, that's true. No, I get it. And it's still, I mean, look, I'll still take 70% of Sidney Crosby.
Oh, of course, I know.
On the ice. Like, because I just think power play, maybe he understands how to calm things down a little bit on the bench. Like, just his leadership. Again, he's got his 2 gold medals. So, I mean, I think he'll be fine. He's triple gold Hall of Famer. But yeah, I mean, look, that's selflessness right there. That's a leader. That's a true professional right there.
Yeah.
And you hate some of these guys, Josh Morrissey too, just not being able to play because of injury. And I think that's a big factor too. It's easy to criticize roster construction.
Yeah, you tweeted that out with Morrissey would have been there maybe. Yeah.
I think Morrissey is such a puck moving defenseman that I think a guy that's been able to move the puck like that. I know Cale Makar and Devontae and Harley played really good, but Sam Hine played well too. But Parenko and Doughty just looked old. They did. They looked old, in my opinion. Well, they did look old, and a guy like Morrissey would have been huge in the lineup. Maybe a Matthew Schaefer, a guy like that.
Well, in 2030, he's going to be like this team, both teams, but Canada's going to look a lot different.
I mean, they're going to look different in 2028, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're going to look 2028 World Cup. I think they're going to look different too. I think both teams will. I think, and again, we said it to Four Nations. What would a Team USA look like with Quinn Hughes? What would the result be?
Yeah.
But there was no Josh Morrissey in that game, and Sidney Crosby wasn't 100% in that game either. So, I mean, USA won. But you play this game 10 times out of 10. Yeah, Canada's probably winning at least 8. Like, I'm be honest. Like, I don't know if it's split.
One other thing that I noticed, and I'm sure that I'm in the minority with this, but at the beginning of overtime, they had McDavid on. McDavid was one of the guys on for Canada. And then every time he got the puck, he, to me, was trying to end the game himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not knocking McDavid. You do whatever you want to do. You're the best in the game. But when he went the first time, okay. But then when he got the puck again, he just kept trying to use it. He tried it again. I thought, hold on a second. I understand what you're trying to do, and I understand that you have the speed to do this, but you have 2 other. Why don't you come in, set it up a little bit, and start the cycle? I don't know. It hit me when he did it the second time. I thought, I understand. Like, you don't need to be the hero. I know you want to be. Were you thinking that I'm going to take advantage of the lack of speed on the defensive side of things and use my wheels? Maybe. You can do whatever you want. But it just hit me after. Not even if they had won the game, I would have still thought the same thing. I understand you were going 3-on-3, but to me, you're going 1-on-3 that whole time you were on the ice.
Yeah, I don't like the second time around. I thought with 3-on-3, it's a lot of cycle game, and it's just holding on
Yeah.
to the puck and setting things up. Because look, on the game winner, Makar pinched, but Zach Werenski and Jack Hughes make a great play.
Right.
That gets the puck, because if the stick doesn't get lifted and the puck doesn't get out, Canada's got 2 on over the other way, and the game's over. Like they're winning. So again, I think McDavid should have slowed it down a little bit, waited, because when that second rush came, there were guys coming off the bench still, and he just went 1-on-3, and I'm like, nah, dude, man, go around the net, slow it down a little bit. Like,
and again, I'm not going to tell McDavid how to play. That's not what I'm saying, but no. I just was thinking, like, you have 2 other great players on the ice, and I'm thinking in my head, as you said, 3-on-3 in the NHL. You go in, you try to set something up, you cycle. If it doesn't work, you come back out again. You slow the game down. And then, say, for example, this just happened. So say McDavid was on, put McKinnon and Celebrini, whatever it is, Makar. So you got 3-on-3 and whoever the U.S. had out. So say they went in, nothing happened, then they came back. You know how the little shotgun, the little drop pass all the time. And then if you slow the game down, then what does McDavid do when the game is slow? He goes off like that. So now I'm thinking in my head, if the U.S. is just a shade slower at that moment because he slowed the game down, then when he can turn it on, nobody can catch him. So it's just kind of like this, right? And then maybe something would have happened, but I don't know. Hindsight's 20/20, so I'm not going to tell him how to play the game.
It's always hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
And look, I pulled the reverse jinx too. It was a heck of a game. I kind of pulled the reverse jinx too, like on Team USA, because I was like, it would be nice to have a guy like Cole Caulfield right now, 3-on-3 when you're going to overtime. And they win the game anyway. But I still like to me, look, I still think Billy G, whatever, he's validated for his roster decision. I still think there were players for Team USA that should have been on this team.
No, I agree.
I can still play devil's advocate on the roster construction. I know they won, but that's like any team. Like, we could put some superstar team together, and if they win, they're validated. They can shove it in your face. But again, there were definitely players that, and again, you won 2-1 over Sweden, you won 2-1 over Canada, and you beat up bad teams. Like against the good teams, you averaged 2 goals. Yeah, against everybody else, you average like 5. That's telling.
That's telling. Yeah,
that's telling.
No, I agree with you.
That's telling to me. Like, and look for me, I gave Jack Hughes his flowers. He deserves it. He stepped up in a big moment. He had his Michael Jordan moment. He basically told all the critics to stuff it. I'm one of his critics, but again, he is yet to show it on the National Hockey League level in a Stanley Cup playoffs. I can do this.
Yeah,
and he did it. He delivered.
It's different when you are as talented as he is or anybody in the game. It's different to do it on a more than consistent basis in the NHL than it is on an international stage, because you're playing with such amazing talent, right?
Right.
So you and I, say we were in the NHL, different teams, we were one of the better players in the game. Just having trouble consistently doing it and getting criticized, whatever. Then you go and you do what he did, Jack Hughes did. Yeah, well, you're playing with the best in the game. I don't care if you're playing against the best in the game. You're playing with the best in the game. You give me anybody in the game today who is as talented as anything. You surround them with great players, they become even greater. That's the thing. And then if you don't, though, like back to Jack Hughes, and I know you've been critical, and there's a lot of people that have been on him, he's got to find a way to continue this and just keep stepping up. Doesn't matter if you're not playing with whoever. If you want to be labeled as one of these top-tier talent players in the game, you got to bring it every night. Even if you lose, you got to show that you are one of those top-tier players.
Right. And you can't, like, to me, on Team USA, he was a complimentary piece to start and became the main attraction.
Yeah.
I personally have always believed that if the Devils ever got a center, like a Dylan Larkin type center, bigger center that can take draws, can go down low, do all this.
Love Larkin, by the way.
I love
Massive
Larkin.
Fan.
Can't wait to see him in the playoffs for Detroit if they get there. I hope they do.
There you go.
Yeah, I hope they do.
I hope.
But if they get a center like that for Jack Hughes, go let him be Patrick Kane, because just let him do that stuff, because he can do that. I don't know if he can do the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion on it. Again, he can go tell me to kick rocks and stuff, but hey, it's all right. I don't mind being. I'd rather be proven wrong than be proven right, because I like guys proving me wrong when I'm talking about this stuff. And And I'm glad for Connor Hellebuck, glad for Jordan Binnington too. He silenced a lot of people too, saying, "Oh, he's other guys." But to me, I thought it was a fantastic game, great final, great Olympics, great tournament. Now hope the NHL can build on it, especially in the States. I know Canada is never a problem for hockey. That we don't know. We have no issues up there. It's just for me, the States. Look, I have to take a different stand now with the media, especially because like I see everybody like ESPN and WFN and people talking about making crazy takes about this, and I know they don't know the game. They don't talk about it all the time. And you give me a shot at the table, I'll whatever. But I just have to not comment on it because I don't want to be like, okay, you want coverage, but when you get it, you don't like it. And it's like, yeah, but we need the right coverage. We just can't have people just talking about stuff they don't know about either.
Right.
That's just my opinion about it. And now how to grow the game and all that stuff. The NHL has, like the big thing that Gary's always said, it never reflects the Olympics never reflect the NHL. Well, we had such a great game. The people Sunday going to be watching Wednesday. Are you going to be watching Thursday? Are you going to be watching into the playoffs? I think that's where the growth of the game is going to come from. That's just my opinion because I live in the States and I see it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree and 100% backing you with that. And I've seen, not as directly as you have because I'm not in the U.S., but I've seen the growth in that. But I'm with you with that. I was thinking, how many people are watching that game on Sunday? How many people followed the U.S. team, or not just the men, but the women as well, for the 2 weeks or 2+ weeks, whatever it was at the games? And now you get back to the NHL, PWHL, whatever it is, and you kind of take that step back again. Like now, is it the baseball's coming up, right? So here comes baseball. So I'm with you.
Oh yeah, the draft pick, the combine's coming. What are they, who's this team going to draft? Who's this team going to draft?
So it's like now is hockey being now
coming.
Yeah,
right. College basketball, March Madness is coming. So the high of hockey with your patriotism with the U.S. with the women and all that stuff, is that taking a back seat because of all the other stuff that's coming?
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's been the case. That's been the case. And that's been the knock on a lot of the U.S. fans and about hockey. Like, hockey has never been up there where it should be. I know, and you know this, that hockey will never, ever replace the NFL. Ever. College football, never.
No.
There are a lot of different sports in the U.S. compared to Canada where hockey will not surpass. But let's just keep growing. Let's get it up because this is a damn good game, people. It's a damn good game.
Oh, my God. And the rest of the regular season is going to be
dude, it's going to be
fun to watch.
Like teams, 3-4 games a week? Like for the next whatever it is till the beginning of April.
Maple Leafs play 3 and 4 games out of the break.
Well, it depends if they show up. I think they may play 1 out of 4, but let's not get into
that.
I don't have enough time to get into that. Trade deadline coming up too, right?
Trade deadline in a week, a little over a week. Like
Gong Show, man.
The Gong Show.
Yeah.
Just pay attention, watch the game. We've talked about everything we can talk about here.
Amen.
Jim Biringer from Nightcap Recap, Ryan Paton, North and South, and In Conversation. This has been Specialty Media's Olympic coverage for you guys. Take care. Watch, like, subscribe. We'll be back.